Hello friends, today let us understand what is population and what is a sample. This video will have the concept of population, homogeneous and heterogeneous population, concept of sample, advantages and disadvantages of sampling and types of sampling. Population. What do you understand by population? In general, people do call the population of human beings as a population. But in data science or in statistics, we consider totality of all the elements under consideration as population. Now, here the concept of population is not restricted only to the human beings population, but it is much wider than that. For example, we can consider residents of Mumbai as a population. When we are talking about the study of residents of Mumbai, we can consider all the residents residing in Mumbai as population. But if you are targeting a particular area of Mumbai, then only all the residents of that particular area will become population. Thus, the concept of population is basically depends on what you are trying to study or depends on your experiment study area. Production produced during a day also could be your population if you are working on the products produced from a factory or a company. All the companies working in a particular geographic location, agricultural produce from a particular state, or even results scored by students of a school can be the population. Thus, population is much wider than only human beings population in data science. Now, homogeneous and heterogeneous population are the two words you might have heard about. Now, what is a homogeneity? If all the population units are having similar characteristic under consideration, then that population is called as homogeneous population. For example, if for a medical representative, you are willing to appoint a person, you might have read the advertisement as BSc chemistry students should apply. So, here all the BSc chemistry students are considered as a homogeneous population because their knowledge about what is expected for the post is considered as a similar stage knowledge, and therefore that population is called as homogeneous population. Heterogeneous population. If the population units are having differences in characteristics under consideration, then that population is called as heterogeneous population. If you are trying to study a particular geographical location, then in that location there could be economically differentiations in the population, and therefore based on economy, if you can segregate the population, we can call that as heterogeneous population for your study purpose. Now, coming to the sample. What is a sample? A small group of elements selected from the population is basically considered as a sample. Example, for the population examples, let us consider some units selected from the population of Mumbai residents as the Dharavi residents could be your sample, or production of a particular shift could represent a sample. Manufacturing companies from all the companies of that particular area could become your sample. Agriculture produce of a particular district could be your sample, or results scored by girl candidates or results scored by boy candidates from a particular school can become your sample. Now, how to select a sample? Here I have shown you one example. So the population is basically consists of all the bottles produced. Now the bottles are shown with different colors like yellow, blue, red and pink. If you want to study this population, you may have to study all sorts of bottles which are being produced. So sample 1 consists of 6 bottles including 3 blue, 2 yellow and 1 pink. Sample 2 consists of 9 bottles consisting of all the 4 colors. Sample 3 consists of 3 colored different bottles, and sample 4 consists of only 1 color 3 bottles. Now, which sample could you call as a good sample? Basically, the purpose of sampling is to understand the population, and therefore all the characteristics of the population must get representation in your sample, as well as the size of sample should be appropriate. It should not be too large or it should not be too small for your study. Depending on the availability of time and resources, you can select the appropriate method of selecting the sample. Now, let us understand what are the advantages of sampling. As we are reducing the size of the population to the small group, naturally your resources are saved. Like time, money, efforts, everything gets saved. So, your study could be more effective than what it would have been for the whole census. It could be faster as well as cheaper. It may reduces the irritation. For example, to understand, if in a factory thousands of workers are coming in every shift, the person who is checking them at the entry point may get irritated to check each and every one. But if he is asked to check only few of them randomly, then his job will get reduced. His job may be more effective, and thus this could reduce the irritation of the job. It could be more accurate because of the size, and it can provide us a comprehensive information. Now, understanding the advantages, are there any drawbacks? Yes, there could be drawbacks also. If you don't know the appropriate method of sampling, it may lead to the wrong output, as your selection might be a biased selection. Wrong sample lead to wrong assumptions, and therefore all the purpose of your work may go waste. Difficulty in selection. Sometimes you need to know a specialized knowledge person to decide what should be your sample, and therefore in some cases that becomes the drawback. Lack of cooperation from the respondents is also one of the drawback of sampling. Sometimes you have selected a small group, and if those respondents are not ready to provide you the information, whole purpose of sampling becomes waste. Less accuracy if proper method of sampling is not used. If population is heterogeneous, proper method of sampling should be used, and therefore there could be limited scope of your research. Thus, these are some drawbacks. If you keep these drawbacks in your mind while doing the sampling, then you can achieve good results from your sample. Types of sampling. There are majorly two types of sampling: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Considering probability sampling, the first one is considered as simple random sampling. Whenever the population is homogeneous, we can go for simple random sampling. What is randomness? People do understand randomness as convenience, but that is not the case in data science or in statistics. Randomness is a very specialized concept. All the population units must get equal chance of appearing in the sample, then only we can call it as simple random sampling. Whatever is the sample size decided, select randomly that size of sample units from the population. For this, you need to have whole list of population units with you. Then only you can go for simple random sampling. Again, it is further having two different types, as simple random sampling with replacement and simple random sampling without replacement. For this, we can use the childhood example of rolling a die. We all know that there are 6 faces of a die and we can get any of the face and we call it as randomly because we are shuffling the die. When we play the game of Ludo, there are chances that you can get 3 twice in the game on the die. That is what is simple random sampling with replacement. But when we play the game of playing cards and we distribute the cards, 52 playing cards with our partners, say 2 or 3, if one person get the ace of spade, there is no chance that the other person will also have the ace of spade. That is what is simple random sampling without replacement. Systematic sampling. Again, whenever we have a homogeneous data, let us consider the quality products are produced. You are assured about the product. Say assembly of the product only happens at your end and you want to check the quality before sending it as your brand name is attached to it. So systematically from 100 units you want to check 10 units. You can select 1 unit from each stance of 10s, that is 7th, 17th, 27th and so on, and that is called as systematic sampling. The cross check only can be done with systematic sampling. Stratified sampling. Whenever the data is not homogeneous, it is heterogeneous and you know clear differentiation between the data, then you can make homogeneous parts of your population, which each part is called as strata, and from each strata you select the sample, that is called as stratified sampling. Then comes cluster sampling. Again, when the data population is heterogeneous and it is not possible to make stratas of the population, but you have the clusters, that is all heterogeneity in each parts of these population units, then you can go for cluster sampling. Multi-stage sampling. When a huge population is in front of you and selecting a sample is a difficult task, you can select your sample in stages. In first stage you can select one characteristics. From selected sample units you can select in the second stage the second characteristic of the selected sample, and like this multiple stages you can apply to get your selected sample. To know more about stratified and cluster sampling, let us observe these diagrams. Now here the population is shown with 5 parts of different colors, and from each part some sample units are selected. Now the decision of selecting how many sample units from each strata is decided based on the statistical techniques. Then cluster sampling. Here 4 clusters are shown of the population. Say 4 major cities of India you are selecting, like Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai and Bangalore, and from these 4 cities you want to select your sample. You can select for your study purpose only 2 cities of these 4 cities, and then selecting those 2 cities and studying them you can understand about the population. That is how these probability sampling methods are used. Coming next to non-probability sampling. Now here convenience sampling is considered as the best method of sampling. Why? Because here you go with your convenience. Whoever is in front of you or close to you, you can contact that person. You know that this person will provide you the information. You try to gather the information, and this is what is convenience sampling. Then comes the judgmental sampling. The investigator need to have the judgment of selecting the sample. In the malls You might have observed that few of the persons try to contact you and ask you some information. They use their judgment whether this will be their proper respondent or not. In this case, it could be that they want the young generation's opinion, or aged people's opinion, and or maybe those who are having junk food, their opinion, and based on their criteria, they create their judgment and contact the person. That is what is judgmental sampling. Then comes quota sampling. For each specific quota, there are seats reserved. That is what is a quota sampling. In the bus, you might have seen reserve for women, or reserve for physically handicapped, like these. So these are the quotas, and from those quotas you select the sample. That is what is a quota sampling. Then comes snowball sampling. When you are not aware about how to contact the person, or reaching the person is a difficult task, you need some reference. So you try to contact one person. From this person you take the reference of the second person. Through this reference, the second person allows you for providing the information, and that's how you try to collect the information. Not only a single person reference, but you may have multiple references from each person to contact or to gather your sample. That is what is a snowball sampling. Thus we have understood about probability sampling and non probability sampling over here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, press the like button, comment for the video, share with your friends,